We go to a public park or a lake and walk along the shore. Do we really think about how safe that water is, especially if you have your dog with you? For example, in the 90s, I went to the EPA site and they had a map where waterways that were significantly polluted were red. I was shocked to find that the entire state of Georgia was red on that map. That made me decide that our occasional trips to the Chattahoochee River, which was 45 minutes away, needed to stop. As far as wading, we still went and enjoyed nature, but we no longer waded in the river because most of Atlanta's waterways are polluted because the sewage system is antiquated. They had a 13-inch pipe rust out and break. A motel parking lot caved in. They found there was a sinkhole because of that pipe leak. There have been several incidents in Atlanta from antiquated plumbing, and a big consequence of that is during heavy rains, the sewage system is inadequate and it overflows into the waterways, such as the Chattahoochee River and all of the creeks that tie into it. That's just Atlanta, and unfortunately, rural areas are not immune to this either. I lived in Cornelia, Georgia growing up from the time I was 6 until I was 18. We drank tap water that came from a well. Okay, I was 14 and decided to explore the woods because I wanted to dig some holes and maybe try to find some very old coins. I dug a lot of holes, never found a single coin, but there was a creek behind the house deep in the woods, and there was mica in it, like hand-sized chunks of mica. So I took my shoes off and rolled up my pants and got in the creek. And I got my fist-sized chunks of mica, which I was really excited to find. And then I noticed suds in the water, and I'm like, that's not supposed to be there. So I walked up the creek, and I found that there were rusted barrels with chemical labels on them. The labels were so deteriorated, I couldn't read what chemical it was, but it terrified me, and I got out very quickly. From the time we moved to Cornelia in 1965, we got sick a lot. Then Mama would tell me occasionally, oh, our neighbor so-and-so got breast cancer, or you remember the folks in the blockhouse across the street? They died. And there were a lot of these over the 11 years that we lived there. People getting cancer. My 14-year-old neighbor, she got a huge tumor on her leg. Now, her mother had breast cancer. My mother had breast cancer. Mama kept naming people that lived on our road who came down with cancer. So this was a big problem when I was growing up. Water pollution, it's a real thing. Just 1 quart of motor oil put into a waterway will get into the groundwater and pollute millions of gallons of that water. Now, most communities in Georgia, you'll see a water tower. They pump that water from underground, from the aquifers that lie deep underneath the ground. Yeah, you drink tap water anywhere in Georgia, you are risking having problems, because even though there are water quality assessments and you can get those, I really don't trust these governments to report accurately what's going on, especially in this political climate. The reason I'm bringing this up is because if you're going overseas to Europe, there might be a water pollution problem. So in my series on Affordable Europe, I am covering the environmental hazards that might be there too. I noticed recently on the Albania forum on Facebook, several people were saying that their dogs got poisoned at a public lake. Well, if you didn't know that Albania has a pollution problem, then you might not know not to let your dog drink that water. They were saying that maybe somebody poisoned the water deliberately. Pollution is no respecter of persons or dogs. It is in the water and your pet drinks it, they might get sick depending on how much of it they get. There are also algae blooms that happen, and some species of algae can poison your pet. It's important when you travel to be aware of these things. Don't assume that tap water is okay to drink. Don't assume that any open water is okay for your dog to swim in, because it might not be. But just check these things out before you go. And I do include a list of some sources you can check for your waterway while you're planning your AmeriExit. Usually every country will have some sort of environmental agency that you can check water quality and air quality, because these things do matter. My mother is no longer with us. She died at 59 of pneumonia. She had emphysema from heavy smoking, but she also had cancer twice. Who knows that maybe she might still be alive if we hadn't had that polluted water. So I want you to think about these things because it's important to your health. Check out your environment as you travel, and I hope you don't have polluted water near you, but just in case, bottled water can be iffy too, but I drink bottled water. I don't drink tap water.